Joshua, the son of Nun, the mantle of leadership. Joshua, the son of Nun, had walked with Moses for decades. He had seen the Red Sea parted, manna fall from heaven, and the presence of God descend on the mountain like fire. Now Moses, the great leader of Israel, was gone. A nation of millions turned their eyes toward Joshua. The weight of leadership was heavy, but before fear could settle in, the voice of God thundered with strength. Be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Joshua 1:9. In this sacred moment, Joshua wasn't stepping into an ordinary role. He was stepping into destiny. God assured him that the same power that walked with Moses would walk with him. Every place Joshua set his foot would be given to him, but there was one condition. He must meditate on the word day and night. Joshua rose from that encounter not just as a commander, but as a man consumed with divine purpose. Rahab and the courage of faith. Before entering the Promised Land, Joshua sent out 2 spies to scout the fortified city of Jericho. The walls were tall, thick, and seemingly impenetrable. But behind those walls lived a woman named Rahab, a woman society labeled a sinner, but whom God saw as a key to Israel's victory. Rahab hid the spies at great personal risk. She had heard of the God of Israel, how he dried the Red Sea and crushed mighty kings. In faith she declared, "The Lord your God, he is God in heaven above and on the earth below." Joshua 2:11. Her courage saved the spies, secured her family's future, and revealed a truth. God can use anyone, no matter their past, to accomplish his purpose. Crossing the Jordan River. The Israelites stood before the Jordan River, swollen, raging, impossible to cross. But God had a plan. The priests carrying the Ark of the Covenant stepped into the water first. The moment their feet touched the river's edge, the water stopped. The river stood still, rising in a heap far upstream, and the people crossed on dry ground. This was not just a miracle, it was a message. God was saying, I am with Joshua just as I was with Moses. 12 stones were taken from the riverbed and placed as a memorial, so future generations would ask, what do these stones mean? And the answer would echo through time. It was God who brought us through. The fall of Jericho. No army had ever conquered Jericho. Its walls were legendary. Its defenses were awe-inspiring. But God didn't give Joshua military strategies. He gave him instructions that sounded impossible. For 6 days the people marched silently around the city once per day. On the 7th day, they circled the city 7 times. Then, with one unified shout and the blast of trumpets, the walls collapsed. Not a crack, not a small opening, but the walls fell flat. Victory was instantaneous. This moment teaches us that God doesn't need human logic, only human obedience. Faith brought the walls down. Obedience opened the promise. Battles, setbacks, and victories. Israel's next battle was against Ai, a much smaller city than Jericho, but this time Israel was defeated. Joshua fell on his face, crying out to God. Then God revealed the reason: sin in the camp. Achan's disobedience had blocked the blessing of God. After the sin was removed, God restored victory. Ai fell, and word of Israel's supernatural triumph spread like wildfire. Kings joined forces to crush Israel, but one after another Joshua defeated them. The sun even stood still during battle because Joshua prayed with boldness. Joshua 10:12-14. It was a season of supernatural momentum, a reminder that when God is for you, no enemy can stand against you. Dividing the Promised Land. After years of conquest, the land God had promised Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was finally in Israel's hands. Joshua led the distribution of the land among the 12 tribes. Every tribe received a portion, every family received an inheritance, and every promise God had made became reality. This scene is quieter but profound. It shows that God is not just a God of battles, he is a God of blessings, structure, and order. He fulfills his promises in full. Joshua's final charge. Now an old man, Joshua gathered the leaders of Israel. His hair was white, his hands warm, but his spirit was strong. He reminded the people of everything God had done: the battles won, the land given, the enemies defeated. Then he challenged them with the famous words, "Choose this day whom you will serve. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Joshua 24:15. With that declaration, Joshua sealed his legacy: a warrior, a leader, a servant of God. His life echoed the truth that victory does not come from power, strength, or numbers, but from obedience to God. If this story blessed you, hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more powerful Bible narrations every week.